Hello, my name is Erin Swenlin, and I am here with my Daily Five for your Daily Five. Hope you enjoy these charts I have been watching, and I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in with the SPY 1-year daily chart. This is a chart I look at every day in the Decision Point alert. Welcome you to go to decisionpoint.com and check it out. So right now, what I've been watching is here's that gap resistance that was set up back when we started this bear market advance or decline, I should say. And we had price travel all the way up, managed to get up to that gap resistance, and then it failed somewhat predictably. And the next thing you know, we have another big gap down. We have this island formation. And of course, we hit this rising bottoms trend line. And it's really setting up at this point. We've been watching wedges, Carl and I. And what we've noticed is that we've now turned it into more of a rising trend channel. And there are a few problems on the chart, but the positives I will go through is that, of course, we had price move up through that 20-day moving average, EMA, and it is managing to hold that support. So that's a bullish, something bullish to look at. And last Friday we had, yes, last Friday, it looks like this is from June 19th. We did have volume that was especially high. But what I'm noticing is we have this decline here in the PMO. It's now on a sell signal. And then one of the things that I've been watching as well is that we had a declining tops line here on price, but rising tops on the OBV. And this isn't considered a negative or positive divergence. What it's considered is a reverse divergence. And what a reverse divergence means is that here we have price moving lower, despite the fact that we've been getting some great high volume accumulation. So that would be considered a reverse divergence. When we have, price should follow volume. So if we see price moving lower as volume is moving higher, that does tell us there's a bit of a problem. And that's when we're looking at those rising tops, not rising bottoms. All right, let's get right back into it here. Climactic indicators. These have been really interesting, and I opened my decision point alert last Thursday with the VIX is telling a story. That was kind of my headline. And one of the stories that I think the VIX is telling is obviously that there is internal weakness in this market. And how do I know this or how do I see this? It's really, and I think a lot of us have been watching this, we invert our VIX, which is something different, because we want to see oversold readings or high readings on the bottom, because typically when you get these readings that pop down here through that lower Bollinger Band on the inverse scale, that typically is going to send you into small rallies over the next day or two. The VIX is very, very short term, as is, of course, net advances declines, net advance decline volume. So these are the things we watch. And the VIX, you could see we had it move up here through that upper Bollinger Band right about the time we started to get this move to the upside here with the hammer that we had last week. But one of the problems is once we got through that band, it has been unable to get above its moving average, its 20-day EMA. And when you tend to see the VIX hovering here below its moving average on the inverted scale, that shows you there is internal weakness. And how do I suspect this? Let's look at what was going on here in that bear market. We had this decline. We were under that VIX the entire time. The VIX was under its 20-day EMA that entire time. And as soon as it got back above the VIX, that's really when we started to take off in this bear market advance or new bull market. It's really hard to tell right now. I'm of the opinion that it is likely a bear market advance, but we are going to experience higher prices, but it's really, we're coming off that bear market low, and I still see there are a lot of underlying weak problems in the market. So anyway, this was the second chart I wanted to look at. Let's go ahead and look at gold miners. I follow these guys every day in the Decision Point alert as well. And we have some great indicators on the gold miners right now that we came up with. But first, let's look at this and talk price. We have been forming a declining trend channel here with GDX off of what could be considered a flagpole. So I'm looking at this flag on the flagpole. This is a very bullish formation. And we had just started to peak out from the top of that on Friday. But today, it appears we've gapped up just a bit here, and we're trading up, well, 3.75% for gold miners. But there were a lot of factors setting up here. We weren't quite there, in my opinion. We got this move to the upside very nicely, very quickly. But here are a few of the signs that were letting us know. First of all, we had bottoms on the OBV that were mostly flat, but you could see the bottoms here on price were declining. So I considered that a particular positive divergence setting up. We had the PMO is now turned up. It hadn't turned up last Thursday when I wrote. And we were still seeing declining trends on the percent of stocks above their 20, 50-day EMAs and 200-day EMAs. We were seeing them in declining trends, but now, as you can see, we've gotten this pop to the upside. So I think that gold miners are ready to take off. 20-year bonds, let's look at them. It's been kind of interesting. I have been annotating, I don't even know how many different chart patterns as we've been moving across here on TLT. You know, it started with a possible double top, then it moved into a possible head and shoulders, which did end up executing. But before it did, it went up, it started to climb again. It did not activate here, the head and shoulders. I was expecting it to break down there, but it didn't. So then we started to look at, okay, maybe we've got double bottom, but ultimately it did come down to, we had a descending triangle, in my opinion. So you had that flat bottom and the declining tops. And right now we got the breakdown. It's come back up above that area of support, but now it's banging its head here on this declining tops trend line, TLT is. But I have to say, when I see a PMO that is now on a buy signal, and I see an RSI that is now above 50, I would have to say that bonds are looking pretty good right now. And I would be watching for a breakout here from that declining tops trend line. All right, Sonos, this is last Thursday's reader request that I did in Decision Point Diamonds. I came up with this one with the help of a reader, and I really like the setup on this chart. Let's go ahead and look at it. Granted, it is up almost 11% today. I didn't expect that kind of a rebound, I'll be perfectly honest. But I thought this chart was setting up nicely, and I still think that there is more upside available for Sonos. So this was the one I wanted to share. And as you can see, it's been in a rising trend channel. Thursday, it had pulled way back, and then Friday it continued lower, but it did find support here on this rising bottoms trend line, as well as that horizontal support in the short term that was formed by these tops back here. So we are in a bit of a consolidation moving back and forth, but it's a rather wide channel, and we are just getting ready to take off on it. You can see the RSI has now turned back up. The PMO, which was topping at the time, which was really my only, my main concern for the pick, but it has turned back up. That PMO has turned back up above its signal line, which I find especially bullish. Yes, the PMO is overbought, but we've seen the PMO get all the way down to a minus 15 reading, so there is no reason why we can't get up to a positive 15 reading, and we're not even at 10 just yet. So I think there's a lot of great opportunity here for Sonos. And that is my Daily 5. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and happy trading.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.